All right, guys, let's get this party started. I have my Marble Queen Pothos. Her name is Victoria. She is beautiful. I have some clear pots. I'm not sure which size I'm going to use. I think this is a 5-inch and a 6-inch. Let's see. I have my D-shaped moss pole with a little bit of Velcro. So I'm going to stick little sprouts onto this guy. I'm going to fill this with sphagnum moss, which I've never used before. So that's going to go in here. And then in my pot is going to go this fancy aeroid mix, which is a super chunky, well-draining soil. So I'm going to figure out how to mush all this together. See you in a second. All right, guys, we are in the messy tub area. I'm going to start trying to put together this moss pole. Okay, so it came just as this kind of mold, so that's meant to grow up the front. So I have this sphagnum moss, which I have hydrated some amount, and I'm just kind of mush it into this mold. Okay, now I tried my best to figure out how much moss to use, how dense does it need to be packed. And basically where I landed was you want it to be packed pretty dense so it holds moisture, but not too dense so that it blocks root development. So I don't have any damn idea. So we're just gonna shove a bunch in here and see how it fits and just kind of cross our fingers, right? So it seems like I'm doing it right. Okay, let's see if I can kind of mush. Okay, so there's just these little tabs. I'm sure you can't see, but they're going into the front, and then it kind of clicks as you go. I have too much moisture in here, so it's dripping out. What I'm going to do is leave a little bit of room in the bottom here. So I'm going to leave a gap here that'll go into the pot, and that's meant to fill up with our potting mixture. Let me just kind of shove some more of this goop in here. And this is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm going to try to pack it fairly densely. So the big pain in the butt about these things is keeping them watered. You have to basically have them damp at all times, which for people with, especially if they have large plant collections, seems like truly a living nightmare. If you have like 100 plants and 20 of these poles or something. But I have basically one plant and one pole, and if I'm going to kind of be giving it all my love, hopefully it won't be too hard to just stay on top of watering this little bit of moss. So I think we're looking good here. It's pretty densely packed. It's going to go into a pot up to about there, so I think that's all correct, right? Okay, so I think we have a moss pole. I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to start messing with Victoria, the Marble Queen Pothos. Okay, now here is the scary part where I'm going to try to do some surgery on our beautiful Victoria here. So here, just a reminder of what we're working with. Really beautiful Marble Queen Pothos. And I'm going to get out of this decorative pot, check out the nursery pot here, and it looks like there are actually some roots growing out of the bottom, so I'm not sure how kind of root bound she might be. She was quite wet when I got her home from the nursery, really just kind of soaked in water it seemed like, so I have actually been drying her out pretty well for the last week or so. And okay, looks like we have some good roots. Now, I don't really know how to do the surgery that I want to do here, but I want to figure out what little plants we have in here. Oh, there's a really, really baby guy. Maybe I can propagate him somewhere. Okay. This is probably soil that is way too kind of dense for this plant. This looks like another little guy that could be, ooh, he's got some nice roots. Look at him, very pretty. Okay. So this guy is an option that I could put against the pole. So over here. Now, so far this has been pretty easy as far as things just kind of naturally falling away as I gently kind of tickle the roots. It really is interesting when you realize in here is just a bunch of cuttings that they put into a pot together, which makes perfect sense. Okay. All right, this guy looks like he's mostly released. Now back here is where they're really, really densely kind of matted, so I'm trying to be careful not to stress out these roots more than I need to. I'm glad that I let this dry out a little bit, because I think if it were more wet, this might feel pretty impossible. These bigger leaves are tangled up, which is okay. I'm really just kind of hitting everywhere at once. All right, I'm getting a lot of the soil off now. I have kind of this strip of plant matter that I bet if I were more experienced with this, I would just be more aggressive and do more pulling. I am very nervous. I'm going to kill this plant. Aha, okay, something separated. There we go, more separation. More separation. Nice big chunky guy. There we go. I think we are pretty much all separated. Let me clean this up a little bit and I will show you what we are working with